So this is some video that I took when I was making some fuel tanks for the Tremlett last season. I've never done fuel tanks before. To be honest, I wasn't quite sure how it was going to work out, but I videoed the whole process anyway. I've used the tanks now for a full season and they've been absolutely brilliant, so I thought I'd share the video with you guys and go through the process of what I did. The space for the tanks was very limited. It was only about 20mm high on the outside and 140mm high on the inside at the points there. The tanks are 1.5 meters long. They go under the floor in the boat, so I was very restricted on size, hence the fact I went down the route of making them myself. But I'll go through the process and show you what I did. So the moulds are just made out of standard polystyrene from a builder's merchant, and I shaped them with a table saw. The first step was to coat the moulds, just using standard West system epoxy and rollering on, I think it was about 4 or 5 coats of just pure resin that I did first, just to create that kind of seal around the mould. So this is the top half of the tank, and don't know if you can quite see, but I've got the corners just taped off with masking tape because the baffles just have the corners cut out of them so that the fuel can weir over the end of the baffle. Then I laid up the baffles, which are just a single layer of Kevlar, again with the corners cut over, and then the ends just turned up slightly by about 2 inches, which is where they'll join onto the actual sides of the tanks. So I laid them in place and then rolled them with epoxy as well, about 4 coats, just to make sure it's got a good coating on top of it, so you don't get any fuel into the actual weave of the Kevlar. Next thing was then to coat the lower half of the moulds, which go on top of the baffle, and then that forms the shape for the finished tank basically. So now the baffles are laid up, I just coated the bottom half of the tanks on the outside. Again, about 4 or 5 coats of just resin on its own. And then started to build up the bottom layer of the tanks. So first layer of Kevlar goes on, just rolling it with resin and finishing it off with a spreader just to make sure it's all properly wetted out. To begin with, I just did the bottom half of these and then put some like patch pieces on the ends basically to form the shape. Next thing was to apply the peel ply, because I wanted to lay up another layer over this, but once it was cured, so I wanted to make sure I've got none of the amine blush coming through and a really good surface to then bond back onto afterwards. So I'm just putting peel ply on these. And then the next day came back off again and it was time to do the top side. So coated the polystyrene on the top sides of the tanks. Same again, about 4 or 5 coats of just pure resin. Next stage then was to apply the Kevlar to the top side of the tank, so just overlapped that pretty much down the whole inside edge there, and then wrapped the front side just over so there was a good overlap between the 2 layers, and peel plied that again so I had a good surface finish to it. The peel ply helps actually because it enables you to turn the tank over and then work on the other side of it without fear of kind of damaging the layup that you've got on the other side. So next was to remove all the peel ply and then lay up the second layer of Kevlar. So just began rollering pure resin on first. With the second layer I actually managed to do a wrap of Kevlar that went around the entire tank and overlapped. So instead of doing it in two sections, one from the top and one from the bottom, I did one continuous wrap of Kevlar all the way around. So I peel plied it as I went and hopefully got a lot of strength into the tank by doing that, and just had the seam with about 50% overlap on the bottom side of the tanks, so you should get loads of strength there. Because the tanks are quite thin, they're only 2 layers of Kevlar, which I think was about 220 gram cloth. So I just peel plied that as I went, which meant that I could turn the tank over on the side that I just laid up, folded in all the ends, and then put a patch over them just to neaten them up a bit as well, and get plenty of thickness in the layup on the end of the tank. Next day, and I removed all the peel ply, and leaves a really nice finish using peel ply. And then it was on to putting the fittings in place. So these are the balance pipes between the two tanks. So I just drilled the holes for them and then bonded them in place, and then I laid some Kevlar up over the top of them just to make sure they were really strongly bonded. Once these holes are marked and drilled out, it's then time to remove the polystyrene from inside the tank. So to remove the polystyrene from the middle, you can just use an acetone or a thinners, and you just pour it into the tank and it just basically melts the polystyrene out from the inside. So you can swill it around and just tip it out in liquid form basically, which is a great way of making a mould like this. I actually found thinners to be better than acetone, because I found that acetone left quite a sort of plasticky residue with the polystyrene, whereas the thinners seemed to actually dissolve it completely. It took a long time to do that, to wash all the tanks out properly and make sure that everything was really well removed, so I spent several days doing that actually, which was a bit of a fiddle, but it's worth it in the end because it makes the tanks really easy to lay up. So here's the finished tanks in the boat. You can see the small breather pipes at the front, the top end of the tanks, and the larger balance pipes at the bottom of the tanks at the rear, next to the filler plate. The tanks are held in position with neoprene rubber on top of them and underneath them between the floor and the hull. So you can actually slide the tanks backwards and forwards if you need to adjust the balance of the boat. So that's how I made my Kevlar fuel tanks. Thanks for watching.